called Praying in Tongues. Do you desire the gift? Yeah. Do you desire the gift? So that is something, if you want to hear more about praying in tongues, I had hoped and prayed that I would pray and that I would be filled on the day of Pentecost. And that was just what I wanted, right? That is what I wanted. And I'm telling you, listen, I believe I received that day. I believe that I received, but the manifestation did not happen, did not become known to me tangibly until about 2 weeks later. About 2 weeks later. And I remember thinking that I hadn't received, that I had not been filled. And I was like, God, I'm believing by faith. Why has it not happened? And I was minding my business at the altar in worship one day, 2 weeks after I prayed and believed by faith that I had received. And I had taken it out of my mind. Like literally, I was so far into worship. I was so far into worship. I forgot that I had prayed for the gift of speaking. I forgot. I wasn't even thinking. And then I'm just so deep in worship and I couldn't stop it if I wanted to. I felt this gentle tug, like this gentle pull from my abdomen. It was from my abdomen and it just came up out of my mouth. It just came out of my mouth. And it was that one syllable. It was duh. It was D. It was the word duh. And it just was like, da, 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 da. And it was so strong. I couldn't stop it. It was just like my tongue was just rolling. And I couldn't stop it. And I knew that I had been filled. And I knew that I had finally experienced praying and in tongue that here's the manifestation. And tears were coming out of my face because I prayed for this. And so tears came out of my face and all I could do was like sound like I was stuttering, right? It sounded like I was stuttering and it was like but I could not stop it. Like I could not physically stop it. It just came roaring out of my mouth. And if I didn't believe before, anytime I caught myself doubting God or caught myself doubting something that God promised me or a gift that was given to me or something by faith, I always use that experience. The Holy Spirit always brings that moment back to me. Like, remember, and I went and even found in some old journals of mine, like where I was asking God in my journals I said, God, I want to pray in tongues. I want to this and that. And I literally was asking God. So I found some old journals where I was asking God, but I had not received, right? I had not received. And so I was still believing back then before I got real serious with him. I was like, okay, God, okay. Like, I ain't playing with you no more. Like, I didn't ask for a house. I didn't ask for kids. I didn't ask for a man. I didn't ask for the nice job and all of these things. I asked you and you did it. But it was almost like, I knew it was real because other people were doing it. And I believed that they were real. Like I believe God was real, even though we have never laid eyes on him. I believe that God is who he is and who he said he was. So I believed it, but because it hadn't happened to me, I was still hoping like, but when it happened, it was undeniable. Dr. Wilson, he says, I couldn't stop my first time speaking in tongues either. Yes, I'm telling you. So sometimes God, when I begin to doubt or to walk in some sense of unbelief about God will always bring me back to that day. Like, remember when you was writing in them journals and you was asking me for the gift? And when I got serious. I was like, God, I ain't leaving this altar. I was like Jacob. Right? I was like, I ain't leaving till you bless me. I wanted this gift so bad. And I was like, and I didn't know how much it was going to help my life. Right? There was a number of reasons I was asking to be filled and pray in the spirit. It was genuine, but I had no idea what praying in tongues was really going to do to accelerate my life in the spirit. Like, I didn't know the benefit then. I didn't know the great benefit it was. And so now I pretty much primarily pray in the spirit. I pray in English, right? Of course. But yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. Sierra got filled here. Sierra said, I ain't leaving. Sierra got filled here in this ministry. And I love to impart and pray this gift specifically, right? As the Holy Spirit leads. It's not me, it's the gift of the Holy Spirit. But I love the impartation and praying for people to be filled and to receive their prayer language, because I just know the benefit of it and how important it is to have it, and that God will give it to you if you really want it. Glory be to God.